I said this in my last post-game video in which the Bulls pulled off one of the more impressive wins on their season, beating the best defensive team in the NBA in the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road. Of course, this coming off a very bad loss against the Brooklyn Nets in which they allowed 25 threes to that team. The game before that, holding the Pacers to less than 100 points for the first time in that team's season. The game before, losing to a G League Wizards lineup. I said it then that this team makes 0 sense, and that became even further apparent after following up a great win to then coming home and playing against a team they're fighting for play-in positioning and home court advantage in that first play-in game and get blown out by the Atlanta Hawks, a Hawks team that has been going through their own share of injuries as of late, including to their star player in Trae Young. And you get blown out at home. And I know it wasn't technically by the definition of a blowout, like the Bulls never trailed by more than 20 points in this game. They were still more or less in it even halfway through the fourth quarter, but outside of that 11-0 start where you thought, okay, the Bulls got this, they're going to pick up where they left off from last night. Aside from that start, the Hawks controlled this game. They already regained the lead by the end of the first quarter and led for pretty much the rest of the game, and for most of it with a double-digit lead. And look, I get it. The Bulls are playing in the second game of back-to-back. It's the end of the season. Guys are tired, and let's be real, the Hawks have been playing very well recently and have been playing a lot better without Trae Young. I'm sure you all saw that crazy stat they showed last night on the broadcast, going from dead last in the NBA on defense to 13th in defensive rating since the All-Star break. It's pretty telling. And you've also just seen how much better that team fits overall with DeJounte Murray acting as the lead guard. So while this loss is frustrating, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is a game the Bulls absolutely should have won. They needed to win it to really give them enough separation from the Hawks to secure the 9th seed, but it's not like this is a game in which the Bulls lost to the Wizards, who were giving their two-way players starting level minutes. But what frustrates me the most, and again, this isn't anything new with this team, simply put, they cannot get their act together and actually show any semblance of consistent play. You can blame it on the roster construction, not having the right guys to get the most out of the team, poor coaching, DeMar pounding the ball and not pushing the pace, Vucevic clanking threes, whatever. The fact of the matter is, these guys just don't play hard enough. Not all of them, some give maximum effort every game, but for the most part, these guys don't play hard enough on a consistent basis. If they did, you would see more winning. Because as we've said before, it's not like this team doesn't have talent. They may not have the superstar level talent, they may not have enough talent to be a contending team, but they have enough talent to be better than a sub 500 squad. They don't give consistent effort. And it's why you see these waves and up and down performances on a nightly basis. Guys don't come ready to play, and when that happens, well, you see what happens in a Bulls team that has been on display for us all season long. So while I'm not mad at this loss when just looking at it in isolation, it's just a macro view of this team and what we've been seeing all year. Bulls defense tonight after that 11-0 run was terrible. How do you let Vucevic, whatever his name is, I don't even know how you pronounce his name, but if it's a player you barely recognize, how do you allow him to light you up from 3 going 6 for 6? Bogdanovic barely missed tonight. Matthews put up 3 threes. You gave up 19 threes to the Atlanta Hawks, who were a good three-point shooting team, but how is it that that's not part of your scouting report and knowing they thrive on the perimeter and you're barely attacking closeouts and leaving guys wide open in some instances? And I mean, the defense aside, the Bulls' offense was horrendous as well. They shot 39% from the field, 25% from 3 after having one of their best three-point shooting nights on the season last night. They had 17 assists in this entire game. The Bulls actually crashed the offensive glass well and snagged 16 offensive boards, in large part thanks to Drummond, who had half of those, but they could not convert on those second chance opportunities. Caruso struggled with his shooting after coming off that insane night shooting in Minnesota. Was 3 for 13 overall, 2 for 7 from 3. Coby White, like Caruso, also 2 for 7 from deep, shot 8 for 21 overall. Vucevic only got up 7 shots in this game, had 5 points total. Did a good job rebounding the ball with 14 boards, but you need Vucevic scoring in games like this. And the Bulls need to be going inside more when the three-point shot isn't falling. Vucevic a -12 in this game, and was struggling to find his place in the offense that Billy Donovan started going with Drummond, who was really the only positive outside of DeMar DeRozan in this game. Drummond, who posted a double-double in just 10 minutes of play, would go on to finish the game with a ridiculous 13 points, 18 rebounds, outscoring and out-rebounding Nikola Vucevic. And then, yeah, I mean, DeMar DeRozan was doing everything he possibly could to keep this team in the game. But the Bulls can't rely on DeMar so much, not with the kind of minutes he's been putting in this season in his 15th year in the league. Other guys need to be able to step up. DeMar ended the game with 31 points on 10 for 23 shooting, did what he does best in getting the foul line, led the Bulls in assists tonight with 5, also had 2 steals. But yeah, I mean, there is just so much that you can ask of DeMar DeRozan with everything that he's been doing for this team. You know, I would like to see Batum in these types of situations a little more, where the Bulls are struggling to knock down threes, where they're struggling to get their offense going. I know that things have kind of quieted down from the initial Batum mania, but he's a good shooter and also decent enough at creating his own shot that I would like to see him getting minutes in the rotation over someone like Dalen Terry or Javon Carter in a game like this. Batum only came in the last 2 minutes when it was garbage time. But I don't know, not like it really would have mattered in this game, considering the Bulls were just not engaged after the Hawks came roaring back from that initial 11-0 start. The Bulls are going to be off until Friday, so a good amount of rest in between now and then, all while staying in Chicago before taking on one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference in the New York Knicks at the United Center. I'm going to be honest, I will not be shocked if the Bulls come out and win this game. It would just be the perfect storyline that we have been seeing from this team all year. It's crazy because the Bulls just have 6 games left on the season, with 3 of them being against the Knicks. And you know the Knicks are going to be trying. It's not like they're going to be resting guys when they actually have a shot, with just a few games separating the 3 and the 6 seed in the East right now. They're going to be playing until the very last game. What's funny is the Bulls have to win out to finish above 500 at this point, winning their remaining 6 games, which we know is not going to happen, and they have to go 5-1 to just finish at 500, that elusive goal they have been trying to achieve all season long. It's been some season, man, some season. I need to start looking and doing my research on draft prospects, because I have no idea what some of these late lottery, mid first round projections are going to be in this draft, where the Bulls actually have their pick this year. So I need to start getting in on that, doing some further digging. But anyway, I'll have some more content out here as well as on the NBA channel before the next Bulls game. So as always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.